Hi guys, in this video we're going to be taking a look at this little box of tricks from Heusinkveld and bring our ultimate pedals up to the latest specification. They're close to Ultimate Plus spec, but not quite there. There are a few omissions that we go through as we go through the box. But let's first unbox this bag of tricks to see what we get. So the upgrade kit comes in quite a small package. It's a tight fit inside here, and for me at least, it was taped in two places. You have these plastic washers that are used to separate the rubbers. You have the different grade rubbers, the stiffness of your pedal. You have these bits and pieces to upgrade your pedals. And this is for the assembly of the new brake. Then we have the pièce de résistance in here, which is the controller. So this allows us smart control with our pedals and brings it close to Ultimate Plus specification. We have this little guide on how to install the upgrades, both on the throttle and the brake pedal. And that's pretty much all we get in the box. So, depending on what version of the Ultimate pedals you have, you may or may not need to upgrade the throttle and clutch. For me, the upgrade was not necessary. I still did it on the throttle anyway, as I had to replace the load cell. But honestly, after the upgrade, I realized I didn't have to do anything for the clutch, because essentially the parts I was replacing were the same ones I was getting in the upgrade kit. I think really it's for the slightly older specification models, but it's good that they include those things. The brake, the new rubbers, I don't know how I feel about them, honestly. The assembly is perhaps a little more simplistic, and you have rubber separators rather than the metal ones that you get in the original kit. I think it gives you a slightly smoother experience on the pedal, and it doesn't make quite as much noise, at least for me. But I'm not sure if it's made the pedal feel any better at all. It feels pretty much the same to me. So the things you don't get in this kit that are in the Ultimate Plus pedals, when we look at them side by side, is that we have different pedal faces. So they have the engraved or cut out Heusinkveld logo on them on the Ultimate Plus, and the springs are color coordinated with the black rubbers. So for my set, I have a silver spring on the throttle pedal and a blue one on the clutch pedal. It's not the biggest problem in the world, but it is a difference. The rest of the assembly, and I think this is down to my pedals are only a few months old, is essentially the same as what you get with the Ultimate Plus. They look identical. Whereas the photo you see here for the Ultimate pedals, it's a slightly different specification. If you look at the bottom of it, you can see that. So the main reason why you would upgrade using the Ultimate Upgrade Kit is that you get the SmartControl compatible controller. It also includes metal shielding to reduce electrical interference. All good things. And SmartControl, as we see here, adds a lot of additional functions, which we would be going without if we didn't have this upgrade kit. So now we've looked at what's included in the Ultimate Pedal upgrade. Let's have a look at how we install the SmartControl software. So the SmartControl software can be grabbed from heusinkveld.com/support, and you can click on download SmartControl. It doesn't really matter which link you click because they're both the same right now, and that will give you a download for SmartControl. It's just a zip file which contains the executable. So drag this to a location that you would like the application to be stored in. For me, I'm just going to put that in my documents under sim racing, and once extracted you can open up SmartControl. So I've already calibrated my pedals here so you don't go straight to the calibration screen, but let's hop on over to calibrate, and from here you can start the calibration process. Now, my pedals, when I first installed them, listed the clutch pedal as the brake pedal and vice versa. So that kind of confused me a little bit because on the controller themselves, they're listed as this is the slot for the clutch, this is the slot for the brake. And actually, the software might detect them differently. So don't panic. You can select your pedals for calibration, and then you go through the wizard calibrating them to their max extent. So I'm not going to do that right now because I've already calibrated them and I don't really want to mess things around. But you can see here that the brake, the throttle and the clutch are calibrated to my needs. You can see here I have different curves for all three pedals, and these are based on my kind of default preferences. And I have the soft rubbers installed now, so that I believe gives you about up to 100 kg of pressure on the load cell, and then you can mess around with the different curves depending on your expectations. I tend to have quite a sloped S-curve, but you can have a slow end or slow start depending on your needs for all of the pedals, in fact. And a sense -2 will give you a slow lead into the pedal. So that'll allow you to give yourself a little bit more control in your throttle application, say if you are driving in the wet. It's not as big a deal in things like ACC where you've got traction control and ABS, but in games and driving cars that don't have those aids, you're going to really benefit from having that flexibility. You can save and load different profiles, and there are lots of profiles available on the internet already from people that use sprint pedals, and you can use those to give yourself a better feel for the various pedals depending on which game you're playing. So right now I just have a default profile, and you can see the difference here. We've got the active profile and the one that I want to load up. That gives you an idea of what's going to be changing. So now we've had a good look around what we get with the Ultimate upgrade package. Let's give it a bit of a spin. My first thoughts with testing out the pedals, the brakes, they kind of feel pretty much as they did before the upgrade, and obviously the throttle is no different specification wise because I had quite a newly updated set anyway. So really the only benefit I'm seeing right now is it gives me a little bit more precision on that initial bite of the brake, which is pretty good if you're trail braking, and it does help a little bit. Still occasionally applying a little bit too much pressure, and that's where the SmartControl system really starts to come into its own, because you can start adjusting the amount of pressure that you're giving. And you can also give these adjustments on a per car or per game basis, so it allows you to really fine-tune the brake settings or even the throttle or clutch settings for the car you're driving, which is fantastic, I think. And that really starts to come to the fore when you're in the wet. In wet conditions, you can really push back the throttle response, so you're easing it on rather than being very lead-footed as I tend to be. So it's, all in all, it's a really good upgrade, and I think it's, whilst it doesn't improve the pedals massively, it does add enough of a benefit for the upgrade to be good value for money, in my opinion. At the price point it is, and given the cost of having to upgrade to the Ultimate Plus pedals, I think this is a very good solution for anyone currently running Ultimate pedals and looking over at those Sprint buddies of theirs and wanting a little bit of that SmartControl action. You can get it from this set, and that in my view is the #1 selling point for the Ultimate Plus kit. I hope the dangling cable in my video here hasn't triggered anyone. I apologise for that. I didn't see it until post-production. I didn't feel it on the pedals, but obviously you can see it's being moved around by my foot. So that could have been potentially dangerous. So Heusinkveld have given you upgrades to all 3 pedals. The upgrades to the clutch and throttle are quite minor, and you might already have them depending on the age of your Ultimate pedals. The brake pedal gives you a little bit more feel right at that initial buy, and then with the addition of the SmartControl capable controller, this really starts to be a very good upgrade, especially if you do a variety of different races. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment so we can have a discussion about what you liked, what you didn't like about what you saw in this upgrade kit. I think personally it's really good value for money, and kudos to Heusinkveld for not trying to milk people for as much as they can get. These pedals are phenomenal, and I can't recommend them highly enough. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and until next time, goodbye for now.